Have you ever wondered why some men remain calm, composed, and unshaken, even when love tests their loyalty, patience, and peace? Why some men don't lose themselves when a relationship ends, when betrayal stings, or when affection fades? They're not heartless. They're not cold. They've simply learned a secret that most never master, the art of mastering themselves before trying to master love. Hey there, Stoic enthusiasts. Waving hand. Welcome back to our channel, the home of timeless Stoic wisdom and its modern power to transform your mindset, relationships, and inner world. Today's episode is a special one. We're diving into the deep waters of love, discipline, and emotional strength, revealing 10 Stoic principles that every wise man should live by when it comes to love, women, and self-mastery. Because love, at its purest form, is not about possession, it's about understanding. And no one understood the art of understanding better than the Stoics. If you're ready to cultivate a heart that stays steady no matter what storms life or love may bring, you're in the right place. Before we begin, remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and like this video if you're ready to build unshakable peace and purpose through the wisdom of Stoicism. Now, let's explore the 10 things wise men don't do with women, according to Stoic philosophy. 1. Guard your past, but share your wisdom. Your past is your teacher, not your trophy. Seneca once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Your scars are not shameful, they're proof that you've lived, learned, and survived. But not everyone deserves full access to your history. Revealing every detail, every heartbreak, every mistake, might feel noble, but it can also invite judgment or manipulation. A wise man doesn't hide his past out of fear, he filters it out of wisdom. You share lessons, not wounds. You express growth, not guilt. You owe people the wisdom of your story, not its entire script. Your past is a temple of experience. Guard it. Silence is not secrecy, it's strength in discretion. Because wisdom often whispers where the world screams for attention. 2. Face the fear of being alone. Aristotle said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Many men rush into relationships not from love, but from fear. Fear of silence. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being enough unless someone else validates their existence. But solitude is not a sentence, it's a sanctuary. It's the workshop where your soul rebuilds its foundation. It's where you learn your rhythm, discover your values, and strengthen your purpose. When you sit alone long enough, your thoughts stop being enemies and start becoming teachers. You begin to realize that peace is not found in company, it's found in clarity. A man who has mastered solitude becomes magnetic, not desperate. He doesn't chase attention, he attracts respect. And when he chooses love, he does it from fullness, not emptiness. 3. Master emotional discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. But what does that really mean in relationships? It means you cannot always control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. It means that when storms rise, and they will, you remain the calm in the chaos. Emotional discipline is not emotional coldness. It's not suppressing what you feel, it's understanding what you feel. It's not pretending you don't care, it's knowing when and how to care without losing yourself in the process. Every relationship will test your patience. Every argument will tempt you to react instead of reflect. Every silence will make you question your worth. And every misunderstanding will challenge your ego to choose between pride and peace. But the Stoic man doesn't let temporary emotions cause permanent damage. He doesn't raise his voice, he raises his awareness. He doesn't chase validation, he cultivates understanding. He knows that control over his reactions is control over his destiny. Because emotions are like waves, powerful, but passing. The wise man doesn't fight the wave, he learns to surf it with grace. He pauses before he speaks. He breathes before he blames. He observes before he reacts. And when he chooses to act, he does so from clarity, not chaos. Emotional mastery doesn't kill passion, it purifies it. You stop being driven by impulses and start acting from intention. You learn that love isn't measured by how loudly you express it, but by how wisely you sustain it. When you control your mind, you command your peace. When you understand your emotions, you strengthen your relationships. Because people trust a man who is steady, not because he never feels, but because he never lets feelings rule him. That is true power. Not the ability to dominate others, but the strength to govern yourself. Not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. A Stoic man knows. He cannot always control the outcome. But he can always control the atmosphere he creates. And in that mastery, calm, grounded, and deliberate, he becomes the anchor in every storm. 4. Manage your time with intention. Seneca warned us, it's not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it. Time is the currency of your existence, and every second you spend is a silent investment in something or someone. But too many men give their time like it's infinite, pouring hours into distractions, empty conversations, or relationships that drain instead of build. A Stoic man knows that his time is sacred. He understands that how he spends his minutes reflects what truly matters to him. So he asks himself daily, does this action align with my purpose? Does this person bring clarity or confusion? Is this moment helping me grow, or making me drift? Because every wasted day becomes a regret disguised as comfort. Love, too, demands time, but not all of it. When you give everything to love and leave nothing for yourself, you become dependent, not devoted. Balance is not coldness, it's sustainability. It's how peace survives passion. So the Stoic man plans his days with structure, not stiffness. He builds his dreams with discipline, but also makes room for laughter, rest, and stillness. He understands that time given with intention becomes quality, not quantity. Because when your time has direction, your love has depth. When your purpose is strong, your presence becomes meaningful. And when you master your schedule, you master your serenity. A man who wastes no time lives twice. 5. Celebrate your progress, quietly and proudly. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Freedom begins with self-respect, and self-respect grows when you honor your journey. In a world obsessed with applause, the Stoic man finds peace in silent victories. He doesn't need validation to know he's improving. He doesn't need a crowd to feel proud. Because true growth often happens in the shadows, unseen, uncelebrated, but deeply transformative. Celebrate the moments no one saw. The morning you got up even when your heart was heavy. The night you chose peace instead of proving your point. The moment you forgave yourself and moved forward. Those quiet choices build an unshakable foundation of strength. You don't celebrate to boast, you celebrate to remember. To remind yourself that the man you were is no longer the man you are. So nod quietly to your reflection. Whisper, I'm getting there. And let that be enough. Because a man who honors his small victories never loses sight of the bigger vision. He doesn't chase validation, he radiates it. And that inner confidence, it's the kind that doesn't fade when the lights go off. 6. Safeguard your mental and emotional health. Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your peace is not a gift, it's a boundary. And protecting it isn't selfish, it's survival. The Stoic man understands that the mind is a battlefield. Every word, every relationship, every thought is either strengthening him or weakening him. So he chooses carefully what he allows in. He knows that a man who burns himself out to please others will one day run out of light, and blame the darkness. Protect your mental space like it's sacred ground. If a relationship constantly drains you, if a conversation always leaves you anxious, if a habit consistently dulls your spirit, pause. Reflect. Adjust. Walking away doesn't mean you stopped caring. It means you've started caring about your sanity. Take breaks. Meditate. Journal. Sit under a tree and breathe in silence. Feed your mind with wisdom, not noise. Because when your inner world is stable, your outer world flows with ease. But when your mind is chaotic, even love begins to feel like a burden. A Stoic man guards his thoughts the way a warrior guards his sword, because without clarity, even strength becomes reckless. 7. Live authentically, even when it costs you. Albert Camus once said, "Integrity has no need of rules." Authenticity is the quiet rebellion of a man who refuses to wear masks. It's the courage to be consistent in a world that rewards pretense. The Stoic man does not perform for approval. He speaks with honesty, acts with conviction, and lives with alignment, even when it's inconvenient. Because love built on pretending is a ticking clock. Eventually, the mask slips, and the illusion shatters. So say what you mean. Mean what you say. If your truth costs you people, it's still cheaper than living in deceit. Real love doesn't demand your silence, it invites your sincerity. It doesn't ask you to shrink to fit, it asks you to grow to match. And when you live authentically, the right ones will find you, not because you impressed them, but because you inspired them. Better to walk alone in truth than together in false peace. Because when you betray yourself, no relationship can save you. But when you honor yourself, even solitude feels like sovereignty. 8. Never abandon your mission. Seneca said, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." Purpose gives life meaning. And a man who abandons his mission for comfort soon loses both. The Stoic man knows that love is not the end of his path, it's the companion on the journey. He doesn't drop his goals for romance, nor does he use his ambition as an excuse for neglect. He integrates both, because his mission is what keeps him alive inside. When a man stops pursuing growth, stagnation begins to rot his spirit. He becomes restless, resentful, and uncertain, not because love failed him, but because he failed his purpose. Stay rooted in what drives you. Your work. Your vision. Your self-evolution. Because the right partner won't pull you away from your mission, she'll walk beside you as you fulfill it. Love should fuel your fire, not extinguish it. And when you rise in your purpose, you don't lose love, you elevate it. Because nothing is more attractive, more magnetic, more inspiring than a man fully alive in his calling. 9. Protect your circle, family, friends, and mentors. Plato said that people are like soil, some help you grow, others poison your roots. Your relationships are your ecosystem. They can either nurture your peace or sabotage your growth. And when love blinds you, your circle becomes your compass. The Stoic man knows the value of wise counsel. He keeps friends who challenge his thinking, mentors who guide his steps, and family who remind him where he came from. He doesn't isolate himself to please anyone, because isolation breeds confusion. Surround yourself with people who speak truth when it's hard, not flattery when it's easy. People who clap for your progress, not your pain. People who hold you accountable, not hostage. Because when life shakes, and it will, these are the voices that bring you back to balance. A man without his tribe forgets his roots. But a man surrounded by virtue grows unshakable. Choose your soil wisely. Because what grows in your life depends on where you're planted. 10. Love without losing yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony." Love, at its purest, is not possession. It is freedom wrapped in faith, connection rooted in respect. It is the dance of two souls walking in rhythm, not one losing itself in the other's song. The Stoic man loves deeply, but never desperately. He knows that real love doesn't demand surrender, it invites presence. It doesn't ask for control, it asks for trust. When love turns into obsession, peace dies. When passion turns into dependency, purpose fades. You orbit someone else's world and forget the light of your own. So love with open eyes. Give your heart, but guard your foundation. Because your peace, your principles, your purpose, they are not barriers to intimacy, they are the roots that make it strong. Love is not about completion, it's about complement. Two whole beings meeting, not two halves clinging. That's how love lasts, and how you stay whole within it. So love fully. Love freely. But never abandon yourself in the name of devotion. Because the greatest act of love is to remain true to who you are. The Stoic path of love and wisdom. And there you have it. 10 timeless Stoic principles for men, not just to love better, but to live wiser. Because Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless, it's about becoming emotionally intelligent. It's not about hardening your heart, it's about strengthening your spirit. The Stoic man doesn't run from love. He refines it. He doesn't chase control, he cultivates clarity. He learns that the goal is not to avoid heartbreak, but to remain whole even when the heart breaks. Every challenge, every silence, every misunderstanding becomes training, a test of self-mastery. Because when you master yourself, you master every moment. So remember. Guard your past, but don't live there. Face solitude until you find peace in your own company. Discipline your emotions before they discipline you. Spend your time with purpose, not approval. Celebrate your growth, even if the world doesn't notice. Protect your mind, because peace is your greatest power. Be authentic, even when it costs you comfort. Stay loyal to your mission, because your purpose is your compass. Keep your circle strong, because no man stands alone. And finally, love deeply, but never lose yourself in the process. Because the Stoic path is not about rejecting love, it's about transcending it. It's about building a heart that feels deeply, yet stands firmly. A mind that understands that peace is not found in people, it's found in perspective. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, aware, grounded, and guided by virtue. That's the essence of the modern Stoic. Calm under chaos. Strong in silence. Loving, but never lost. So as you go back into the world, into your relationships, your work, your moments of solitude, carry this truth with you. Peace is not something you find. It's something you practice. And the more you live with discipline, gratitude, and awareness, the more love becomes not a battlefield, but a sanctuary. If today's message spoke to your heart, give this video a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more lessons in Stoic wisdom and self-mastery. Drop your reflections in the comments. Which of these principles resonated with you the most? Which one will you start practicing today? Until next time, my friend. Stay grounded. Stay wise. Stay stoic. And remember, peace begins where reaction ends. Dove.